If you're watching this video, then I'm assuming you probably want to know how you get your account set up, or you may want to know about some onboarding resources. Well, don't worry, because we're going to cover all of that in today's video. We're going to start by going over how your account gets set up through what we call the onboarding steps, and then we're going to go over the Getting Started tab, which shows up in the top left corner of a new user's screen. First off, let's go over how your account gets set up. Every single new user that logs into Jump is going to be asked a series of questions that we call onboarding steps. They're pretty intuitive, but let me give you some tips and some information about these questions to help you along the way. First off, we are going to ask you what CRM you use. Now, we recommend that all users integrate with a CRM if they're able to. Even if you're someone that doesn't meet with clients and you're going to be in Jump as what we call a light user, it is still recommended that you integrate with your CRM. If you're a full user, which means you're an advisor or you're somebody that meets with clients and you want to use Jump as your AI assistant, then we're going to ask you an additional question in the onboarding steps, and that is, what do you want to do with a note after a meeting? Now, to explain what this question is asking, we're asking, when you're in your CRM, usually, after a meeting with a client, what do you do? Do you go in and you manually create a note, or do you go to an existing event and then edit the description field or another field in that existing event with the notes from the meeting? Now, if you get this question and you're confused, maybe you don't have the option that you're looking for, I recommend selecting something, continuing on through these onboarding steps, and then definitely reach out to us after and we can go over your options with you if you want to change these or talk about other ways that you want to get your note into your CRM. To give you an example of how this is going to affect your account, if you select the option for Wealthbox that says, I add a note to a contact or a household, then when you have a client meeting, Jump is going to show a button that shows up in the top right corner of your meeting. And when you click on that button, it's going to show an option for you to create the note that Jump generated, and then you can choose to link it to a contact. When it comes to the financial planning tool question, we recommend that all users set up this integration, regardless of whether you're a full user or a light user. You will need your own login credentials to set up this integration, so as long as you have that, we do recommend that you set up this integration in Jump. Here's another question for a full user. If you have a Zoom login and password, then we recommend selecting the Zoom tile here, clicking Connect Now, and then you'll be prompted to enter your Zoom login credentials. If you don't have a Zoom login, username, and password, then don't worry. It is not necessary to integrate with Zoom to use Jump. It is recommended, but you can still get the note taker into your Zoom meetings or to any other video conferencing provider, even if you're not directly integrated in Jump. Another question we're going to ask a full user is, do you want the note taker to show up to your meetings by default? What we mean by this is whenever we show a meeting in your upcoming tab, do you want Jump to assume the note taker should be sent to the video call automatically? If you select the option that says, yes, start sending a note taker to my meeting by default, then when that meeting shows up from your calendar into Jump, we're going to toggle that little note taker toggle on. But if you decide you don't want the note taker to show up to one of your upcoming meetings, you'll simply be able to turn that off. If you select the other option, I'll handle this on a meeting by meeting basis, then your meetings that sync over into Jump will not auto-select the note taker toggle, and you would need to manually come in and turn them on. Now, the option you select here isn't set in stone, so if you ever want to change it in the future, you certainly can. Again, I do recommend you select yes, start sending the note taker to my meetings by default. However, it's totally up to you. Once you complete these steps, you're going to get a welcome video prompting you to watch how you can use Jump. It's about 5 minutes, and I like to call it a crash course because we go over everything that you can do in just 5 minutes. If you decide to not watch this video and you want to come back and learn more about Jump through our videos, check out our YouTube channel, just like the one you're watching. We have a lot of great bite-sized content instead of this 5 minute. Once you're ready, go ahead and click on the See Example Meeting to go into your Jump portal. Once you click on See an Example Meeting, we'll take you to a meeting and give you an idea of what your post meetings are going to look like in Jump, what the notes will look like, how to access the recap email, the tasks. Now at this point, your account has been set up successfully. With that being said, we do give you an additional resource which we call the Getting Started tab, which is going to show up here in the top left corner. The Getting Started tab is a tutorial of Jump. We're going to guide you through some integrations you can set up, and we're also going to suggest some things that you do to help you learn how to use Jump. If you're an account owner, we're also going to give you additional ways to customize your account. Your Getting Started tab and the progress through your Getting Started tab is going to be reflected by the Setup percentage complete here above the tab. One thing I like to tell new users is they do not have to go through the Getting Started tab to start using Jump. The Getting Started tab is, like I said, it's a tutorial, it's there to assist you, but if you don't want to go through it, you can keep that setup at 0% complete and continue to use Jump. Those onboarding steps that we went through initially in this video, that's what sets up your account. So to reiterate, your Getting Started tab, it's great if you want to learn about Jump, but is not necessary to use Jump. Now, since we're talking about onboarding resources, I highly recommend that you use this chat bubble that shows up in the bottom right corner of your screen. This bubble is going to allow you to send a message over to our customer support team. You can also register for one of our daily group onboarding webinars by selecting Find a Time. In this training, we go over some best practices, we review some basics of Jump, and then we open it up for questions and answers at the end. We also link our YouTube channel in this window, so if you ever want to access our YouTube page, just click this button here and you'll be able to view all the videos that we've made in Jump. And we've made quite a few videos. We also have a YouTube playlist that we call Jump Onboarding Series, which is a compilation of videos that we recommend for new users. Now, as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you run into any questions. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.